Hello semuanya, welcome back to Empire Fit Talk. You got me obviously, Coach Albert, dan hari ini saya ditemani dengan dua orang karena topik hari ini kita akan membahas tentang cheat day or nutrition specific. Jadi we have Coach Gavi, who is the head coach of the head nutritionist coach here at Empire Fit Club. And we also have Coach Suzanne, who is the upcoming nutritionist. Also, she's trying to get her certification, the precision nutrition, right? Alright, so today's topic, we'll just dive into it. Kita akan membicarakan tentang cheat day. Okay, so let me ask you guys, what do you think about cheat days in general? Apa sih view kalian tentang cheat days?
You can go first, Coach.
I'll go first ya.
Yeah.
What I think about
Pakai
cheat
bahasa
days.
dong, coba.
Coba.
Pakai bahasa Inggris.
Yang saya
Nggak bisa bahasa Inggris.
jadi menurut saya kalau cheat day itu gara-gara orang tuh mengimplementasikan restrictive dieting. Jadi kalau cheat day itu orang mikir, oh maybe kalau weekend itu saya reserve cheat day untuk makan pizza, untuk makan burger, nasi padang, whatever it is. Itu tuh it's like reserving a day untuk makan, to cheat on yourself gitu menurut saya. Kebanyakan orang mikir kayak gitu.
What do you think about cheat days? So mereka, yeah.
I don't think you should be thinking about days as cheating, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you already think kayak cheat days, you're just cheating on yourself already. Jadi kalian nggak usah. What is cheat? Curang lah.
Curang.
Gitu.
Mencurangi progress.
Progress diri sendiri. Gitu.
Mencurangi progress diri sendiri.
That's
Okay.
what I think.
Kalau gue kebetulan dulu udah pernah diet yang restrictive, sampai cuman di weekend doang tuh cheat days. Ada sih hasilnya, body fat turun, tapi habis itu bye. So personal experience berhasil hanya untuk kayak jangka waktu pendek sih buat gue.
Yeah.
Karena kayak nggak ada hasilnya gitu. At the end nggak bisa berjalan panjang gitu. Makannya sekali makan cheat days, oh I like to eat pasta, pizza, cheese, semua yang so I can eat all this in my cheat day, tapi ya menderita sih sejujurnya. Jadi
Nggak
nggak
sustainable
bisa
lah ya.
nggak bisa nikmatin hidup. That's from my side. And I love to eat. Apa ya?
Ya. Kalau dari gue sih, I don't really believe in cheat days ya. For myself ya. For myself, I just see it as either gue mau makan banyak or gue mau fueling buat olahraga gue atau fueling buat activity gue. Jadi their point yang kayak nggak ada kayak cuman Sabtu Minggu is my cheat days, nggak kayak gitu sih. Kalau misalkan I want to eat something on Monday atau gue mau makan ice cream atau itu on Tuesday, I'll do it. Tetapi at the same time, I have most days yang kayak it's gonna support me towards my fitness goal. Jadi ada yang days yang gue kayak ya udah, I know that this is maybe it's not going towards my fitness goal, tetapi gue nggak lihat itu sebagai cheating sih. Gue cuma lihat ya udah, asal gue hari-hari kedepannya nggak bisa gini-gini terus gitu. You know what I mean? So sometimes there are more days yang nggak supporting my fitness goal, but on the bigger scale, gue rasa sih as long as you have more days yang supporting your fitness goal than not, right? Tetapi as a coach, you have to play around with the language here. Kita mesti tahu cara gimana kayak making it simple for our client, ya kan? Jadi ada yang orang yang kalau kita ngomongin kayak begini atau mindsetnya bisa kayak kita samain dengan kita, it work for some people, right? Ya udah kalau kita enggak itu, dan sebenarnya kita mesti ngarah ke situ sih, kayak ya udah no cheat days, maksudnya nggak ada term cheat days. Kamu kalau makan aja, tapi kamu juga mesti tahu mesti melakukan ini dan makanannya mesti ada ini. Nah, that's pretty much the end goal kan, karena supaya mereka nggak melihat kayak I'm just living for Saturday and Sunday every day, Senin sampai Jumat it's horrible gitu, gue kayak menyiksakan badan gue, tetapi Saturday Sunday this is how life should be. Ya itu menurut gue sih agak nggak bisa hidup longevity kayak gitu, atau susah lah mau maintain, ya kan. Nah, jadi the perspective atau the view untuk hari-hari itu dia mesti dilihat atau term cheat days. Tetapi ada orang yang emang approach-nya mesti digituin sih. Gua rasa klien-klien ya kayak mereka Senin lah, Selasa lah, mereka sikat terus makanan-makanan yang enggak helping in their fitness goal. Jadi you as a coach have to know how to play with labeling things, right? Atau kayak gimana supaya ya jangan makan ini yang kita emang mesti benar-benar restrict orang-orang gitu, like right. Now the older they get, we have to know how to communicate and talk to member kita sih. Dan yeah, in some cases I use that word, Monday to Friday you need to do this, Saturday Sunday you need to do this, and then kita change it that way. You know what I mean? Jadi the goal is to you don't have any cheat days. It's just living.
Yeah.
Iya kan? Tetapi tergantung orang-orangnya. Jadi mesti ada kayak maybe we have to put it in a certain way. Kayak lu maunya progresnya segini cepet, ya kita mungkin hari ini lu nggak bisa makan ini, iya kan? Nah itu kita save aja dulu deh sampai Saturday Sunday karena emang mereka bener-bener nggak bisa living without that, you know what I mean? Karena kita tahu habitnya mereka pas mereka makan tuh dia nggak bisa stop atau habis itu dia overconsumption. Jadi kita sebagai coach have to play that person yang put them accountability and restrict a certain thing. And that's depend on your coaching style juga. Maksudnya kalau ada orang yang kayak gua kan, ada orang yang suka gua karena they like me hard on them gitu. Gua nggak bisa coach kalau itu terserahkan sama gua mestinya gini. I'm gonna give it to that person. You know what I mean? Like no, Monday you gotta eat this, and it worked for some people. Now it might not work for everybody, it might not work for other people. Ya kan? But for this client paying me to do, and he knows that gue cuma bisanya diginiin atau this is what gonna give me most progress, I will give him that at first. Until he start seeing and then hopefully change his mind as we go along, or change the way he thinks of things. Jadi sebagai coach dan sebagai athlete myself, it's two different thing. Kalau gue sebagai athlete, gue nggak percaya sih cheat days, ya kan? I just look at it as days I could consume this, as in like this is just my everyday thing. If I want to go out on Wednesday and drink, but most of the time gue juga, then I don't look at it as a bad day for me. I look at it like that's at least I already am at that point. You know what I mean? I have the discipline to have most of my days untuk kayak makanan gue ya Empire Kitchen most of the time.
Yeah.
So, when I eat something, it's not cheat days. It's just I eat something else that is out of the proportion I used to eat. So that's what I think about cheat days, guys.
Panjang lebar.
Iya, kelamaan tadi ya. Lama banget ya. Sampai 5 menit kali ya.
Apa mungkin karena konotatif cheat itu udah jelek?
Iya, banyak orang label food.
Ya, karena it allow you to kinda like eat stuff, right?
Yeah.
Cheat days. Kayak gimana ya? Quite interesting karena cheat days this is not a new
gitu
term, it's a long term, udah dari dulu lah.
Jadi kalau dikasih curang langsung kalap.
That's what I used to do.
It worked for some people, it doesn't work for others. Iya sih.
I think cheat days tuh stem from kan orang-orang waktu itu when you were about to compete gitu misalnya untuk a show, your regimen does have to be more kayak ada scheduling of eating and then it is more restrictive. Jadi in the sport of bodybuilding, I think it comes with the sport as well.
Yeah, maybe you're
eating,
cheating or you're cheating yourself, not cheating the competition.
Yeah.
Iya sih.
So that word is like, oh okay, hari ini aku bisa makan my cheat meal gitu in that sport. But if you're not competing and then you don't want to put yourself in that mindset, kayak nggak usah. Jadi lebih kayak how do you create a balance?
What if you instead of cheat days you say undisciplined day?
Relax day gitu, santuy day gitu.
Ya lah, berarti the rest of the day you're not relaxed there. You're not relaxed.
Karena kan a lot of people kan overthink kalau mereka mau makan kan.
Iya.
So that gets to the head. Tapi kan oke, udahlah ini relax day gitu.
Or unplanned nutrition day.
Unplanned, bukan cheat.
Weekend ada ulang tahun gitu kan, ada kue, aduh.
Masa makan habis itu, oh man, I'm cheating myself, I feel so guilty. Terus gimana? Ya kan? Bingung sendiri akhirnya.
Okay, well, do you implement cheat days? Do you guys implement cheat days in your training or in your daily living?
Dulu I did have cheat days because that was my thinking. Like Monday to Friday ya harus disiplin makannya ya ayam, broccoli, rice. It sounds so bad right now. Terus Sabtu minggunya ya makan pizza, makan I don't know, ice cream. I eat a lot of chocolate. Jadi I did implement cheat days before, and then it was, for me, itu nggak sustainable. Jadi sekarang with training, with nutrition, aku nggak implement cheat day sama sekali. I do give myself a little bit of kayak coklat, some bread here and there, or apa lagi aku suka makan? Banyak. My dessert lah, pokoknya setiap hari ada dessert. But I don't count it as my cheat meal. It's just a meal that I have gitu.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Gak sih, sama. Dulu pernah juga waktu itu, baru tahun lalu nyobain a different kind of style diet lah kasarnya gitu. Itu for the first 4 days, no caffeine, no carbs, no sugar, apapun dari bentuk buah aja enggak. Karena mau ceritanya detox, so sayur sama veggies doang. Wah, that was the hardest 4 days ever in my life. Gitu. Terus baru pelan-pelan udah detox, makan, kenalin complex carbs, ini. Tapi after like udah waktu itu berapa ya? 12 minggu, oh ya lean, dapet. Tapi gila abis itu langsung drop lagi kayak oke, now jadi kalap. Cheat, makan, I'm gonna have my pizza, I'm gonna have my cheese, I'm gonna have my ice cream gitu. Karena selama, apalagi nasi padang, 12 minggu nggak makan nasi padang, gokil sih itu sih. Gila, nggak ada yang namanya santan. Darah Sumatera bergejolak gitu.
Wah, lapar nih.
Tapi ya sih, akhirnya jadi nggak sustainable. Udah selesai kayak gini, oke, body fat naik lagi. Karena kayak, ini nggak bikin gue happy. Pas
Iya,
udah
akhirnya
nyobain. Like, nah ini bukan
kayak yo-yo dieting akhirnya. Kebanyakan orang emang yo-yo dieting. Too hard, too soon.
Unless memang ada, misalkan seorang atlet gitu, mereka emang butuh untuk, atau kalau bodybuilding mereka mau show gitu kan, berarti kan body fat harus benar-benar drop, muscle harus naik. Nah mungkin kalau mereka ada goal begitu ya nggak apa-apa. Tapi kalau as a daily base doang nggak bisa sih, susah. Udah pernah nyobain itu?
Gimana ya, for me implement cheat days maksudnya gue nggak pernah sampai kayak I have to have that food gitu loh. Like gue nggak pernah kayak gue lapar banget nih, I have to have that food. Like gue sampai I will break my routine just to have that food gitu. Kayak gimana ya, nggak pernah. Mungkin gue juga nggak. I did compete, not bodybuilding, like racing and stuff when I was a sprinter. Tetapi gue juga nggak lihat misalkan nih ya, besok gue sprint. Hari ini gue bukan kayak, oh man, I have to have that food. Gue mesti tahan. Enggak, gue mikirnya kayak ya udah I'll have that food after I run gitu maksudnya. Jadi kayak I have patience atau sabar aja sih. Karena menurut gue ya I need to get to, kalau gue if I want to get to something faster, gue tahan aja itu, you know. Jadi gue nggak lihat itu sebagai
You're not excited gitu.
Yeah, like I'm more excited about the result that I'm gonna get daripada the satisfaction dari makanan itu loh. You know what I
Terus
mean?
like the goal oriented kan.
Jadi to me is like ya udah gue tunggu aja gitu. Dan pas gue selesai I got my goal, bukan kayak wow this is what I've been holding off, I need to eat McDonald's or something like that. Enggak sih. Gue cuman kayak ya udah now I get to eat this, I don't have to watch what I eat because I already reached the goal. Tapi I don't look at that as cheating or I don't look at that as breaking nanti karena I know okay udah now I need to reach another goal. I need to get there. How fast do I want to get there? Right? Jadi kalau misalkan gue mau latihan biasa-biasa aja sih, nggak ada kayak competition and I get ready ya gue. If I want to eat this now, I eat this now. You know what I mean? It's knowing yourself, knowing the balance sih menurut gue ya. That's why to implement cheat days for me enggak sih. Gue kayak my cheat day could be any day. Kalau if you wanna use that term cheat days. Tapi ya whatever to me, if I wanna eat it today, I wanna eat it today. That's why I think it's so sustainable the way you think it that way. As long as you have more days yang lebih kayak towards the healthier side or more days that is controlled. You get what I mean? Because I think karena menurut gue yang bikin all of this is unhealthy is it become uncontrollable. Kamu membiarkan kayak emotional atau rasa itu dia driving your action gitu. Oh my god.
Craving itu namanya.
Ya, jadi lu sikat satu box martabak, you know. Padahal it's like you don't need that many, you know. Itu karena udah nggak bisa benar-benar.
Gak bisa ketahan.
There is no discipline in a way. Nggak ada disiplinnya sih. And I think that's the
an
issue.
interesting mindset that you have actually. Not a lot of people yang kalau aku misalnya ngomong itu sama kalian punya mindset kayak gitu. Nggak banyak.
Of course lah. Beda mindsetnya. Kita beda
Salah.
mindsetnya, bos.
Ya mereka mikirnya kalau misalnya, ada makanan gitu, you get excited gitu kan, kalau ngeliat makanan that you like, that's on the dinner table.
Mungkin karena gue juga suka latihan sih. I like training. Jadi yang lebih crucial makanan karena trainingnya sometimes it doesn't equate to what you're eating kan. Ngerti nggak? Jadi kita lebih picky about what you eat karena gue tahu latihan lu nggak berat banget gitu. Atau nggak seberat yang kita mau supaya negate yang lu makan gitu. Atau make yang all the calories that you consume. Gue latihannya hard. Jadi gue mau makan apapun gue tahu my training is gonna substitute for that,
Jadi ini tipe orang nih kelihatan yang makan untuk sustain training.
Iya.
Kita
Fuel your
training buat bakar makanan.
Banyak orang kayak
Itu
gitu.
banyak
Training
loh.
untuk makan
Perhaps,
makanan.
yeah. Kalau gue latihannya ya, I train because I like to train and I eat because I like to train. Jadi
Iya.
kayak,
Iya.
so if I wanna eat some fries, I already calculated in my head how many calories did I hit that amount. Okay, I'll have a good training day. Malah kalau gue makan banyak, gue tuh kayak, man, I'm looking forward to training karena I'm gonna feel so strong.
Iya.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna feel so strong. I'm gonna feel like, whew, this pancake's gonna give me so much strength. You know what I mean? Like once I eat,
Oh, energinya bertambah, bisa push harder.
yeah. Malah after I eat big, I look forward to train. And it kind of like a beautiful cycle that way. You know what I mean? I don't
Banyak
know.
That's a
Now,
good-
ya. Tapi kebanyakan kayak misalkan kita berdua kayaknya kita suka makan, and then ada guilty gitu kayak, wah
Masih sedikit.
nasi padang itu sampai tangan kan di gitu bersih,
Tapi gua nggak-
martabak habis bersalah.
yeah, I don't get the idea of consuming rice though. I mean rice is good, tetapi nggak seenak gitu sih. Gue lebih suka kayak I have to have my rice, tetapi gue lebih banyakin kayak proteinnya. Lu mau taruh santan lah, lu mau taruh gulai, whatever it is like you wanna put in, adobo, I don't care. Yang penting ayamnya. Nah itu lebih enak menurut gue daripada pasta and pizza. Pizza juga nggak kayak rice, nggak kayak my driving itu sih. Sama kayak es krim, I like to have 2-3 aja kayak just 2-3 scoop just to kind of like incite my taste. After that, udah.
Gue kalau
Makanya,
nggak di
ini
stop
punya
itu
Albert's
satu
Chicken.
poin habis. Gue kalau nggak di stop, kalau nggak ada mindset control ya in my head, itu terus bisa satu poin habis.
Karena gue tahu badan gue itu dia nggak bisa cuman just completely carbs, I'll get sick I think. Gue nggak bisa, gue makan aja gue langsung automatically oke, ini lebih banyak proteinnya atau lebih banyak carbsnya langsung whether you itu. Makanya gue kalau ke restoran terfavorite gue itu yang have a lot of protein in their menu. Kalau nggak banyak protein gue nggak bisa. Gue langsung kesel.
Rugi ya langsung.
Iya
Gitu,
kayak
wah.
aduh malas banget gue. Gue
Gak
langsung
dapet
kesel
sih,
kalau
rugi.
nggak banyak protein. Karena I know I have to order twice. I have to order, dan sayang carbnya gue nggak makan. Yang keduanya yaitu just protein.
Tapi mindsetnya kalau Coach Albert tuh eat to train,
Iya.
eat to perform kan. Oke, ada dua. Ada lagi yang banyak weekend, gym goers, you train to eat.
Iya.
Bener kan ya? Train to
Iya.
eat.
So you
Itu
can
dia.
eat without feeling guilty
Iya.
gitu. Jadi jangan
Then it
nggak-
becomes that cycle where ya udah I gotta burn.
I love the way I'm at right now. Cause I can
Everybody
just
wants
eat.
that. Kayak menurut gue
Gitu,
ya.
guys.
Menurut gue
So
tuh
you
kalau
eat to
bisa
train.
di situ enak banget
To
udah
fuel.
kayak gitu.
So what do you think is the problem with having cheat days? Apa masalah? What's the issue with cheat days? Do you guys think? Ya gue, iya restrictive sih. Jadi kayak lu lihat hari-hari yang lain sebagai hari-hari yang jelek, cuman hari yang itu kayak living for the weekend lah menurut gue. It's like living for the weekend. Oh, I don't like to be at work, but Saturday, Sunday I go crazy. It's like you're just living for the weekend and out of your life. You only live 2 days out of your life, And gue rasa sih we cannot look at it that way. Ya. We can repurpose our weekend towards our other days, but cannot. And I think it takes some retraining, see the way you view the cheat days or the way you see the weekend. Kalau gue sih jujur aja, when the business is running good, I can't wait till Monday. Gue nggak bisa, karena Monday is where the business is running. Because I'm thinking about the business, right? But if you think only about the partying or the time off, you're gonna be thinking about the weekend only, So I don't know. I think you gotta look at it that way. Same thing. Kalau lu cuma thinking about makanan kayak wah, and then you don't think about the result, yeah, you're gonna only be looking forward untuk cheat days, and eventually the cheat day is going to take over more than it is the normal days. Iya sih. Why do you think people implement cheat days? Yeah, I think we already covered this. Iya kan?
They tend to go straight to,
Kenapa?
people need cheat days ya.
Iya, kenapa?
I think we did.
Ya, kenapa people perlu cheat days? Ya itulah yang kayak gue bilang tadi, some people they have to put a break on their daily consumption. Mungkin mereka setiap hari makannya nggak kontrol lah, makannya is not supportive untuk towards their fitness goal. Jadi kita sebagai trainer we have to have some kind of grip with these people, right? And some people come for that. You know, some client come for, hey, I need somebody to tell me no, you know, and then then in that case, you implement those days, right? Tetapi bukan berarti semuanya it work for everybody juga sih. Yeah. Let's go to what is restrictive dieting. Apa sih bedanya cheat days and restrictive dieting?
I think restrictive dieting tuh sama cheat day they go hand in hand kan. Jadi kalau kayak misalnya yang orang Monday to Friday they restrict their diet, ya akhirnya they tend to cheat day on Sabtu Minggu. Jadi it does go hand in hand. Menurutku sih cheat day occurs due to restrictive dieting.
I see.
Gitu. Jadi restricting makanan yang mereka nggak boleh
Nggak boleh ini,
nggak boleh ini, nggak boleh itu.
nggak boleh ini.
Akhirnya Sabtu Minggu ya udah ini cheat day gue ya. Let's go. Let's eat.
For me, I think itu tergantung sih. Maksudnya kayak some people kan ada yang nggak bisa gluten, so it masuk sih restrictive dieting ke mereka karena mereka nggak boleh makan gluten.
Yeah.
If they're vegan, nggak bisa makan produk dari binatang secara nggak langsung. Tapi it can go hand in hand. I think it depends on situasinya. Kalau it is what your body need, lu butuh atau tidak butuh ini supaya nggak jadi kayak insulinnya lah keganggu, hormonal imbalance, ya go for it. Tapi kalau kondisi normal yang kayak mungkin kita dulu ngalamin nggak boleh makan ini, akhirnya pas ketemu weekend biar semua lepas gitu. Karena mikirnya udah kapan lagi gue bisa makan ini.
Iya.
Jadi Monday gue udah nggak bisa lagi, gue harus ketahan. Nggak bisa makan ini, gue tahan ini, nggak no gitu. Jadi I think it depends on the situation sih.
Ya.
Orang-orang lah tergantung.
Ya. Oke, back at it. Kenapa orang-orang ke restrictive dieting waktu mereka mau mulai their lose fat journey?
Mereka tuh langsung mau restrictive dieting, so mereka kira ya kalau aku restrict dietku lebih banyak itu resultnya will come faster. Because they're wanting tuh kayak resultnya lebih cepat. Tapi instead of looking of kayak sustainable approach, lebih kayak aku mau cepat, so just let me restrict as many carbs as you can or as many sugar as you can. Tapi misalnya ya after 4 weeks, 8 weeks ya pasti ada result sih. Kayak tadi Coach Suzanne ngomong, pasti ada resultnya. Tapi after effect-nya itu, after restricting that much, do you have a plan gitu? Will you yo-yo back?
I see.
Gitu.
Yeah.
Itu yang aku experience juga waktu itu. So I went to restrictive dieting dari berapa? 58 kilo sampai 46 kilo in 6 months.
That's really aggressive.
It is quite aggressive. I hit my end goal, tapi after that building back up-nya jauh lebih lama.
Right.
Yeah.
And what do you see is the problem with this approach, masalah dengan approach of restrictive dieting itu apa?
Jadi nggak sustainable. Number one, kalau mau restrictive dieting for me when I went through it jadi nggak sustainable. Soalnya my result was short term. Like I want resultnya quick, tapi it doesn't last for long. Jadi after that tuh what now? Kalau misalnya mau sustainable weight loss ya menurutku jadi harus lebih cari goal yang bisa untuk jangka panjang. Gimana kita bisa lose the weight or increase the muscle in a sustainable way for everybody else.
Yeah. I agree with that. Gua sih agree with that. But I think the problem dengan restrictive dieting itu maksud gua lu sebagai somebody yang mau ke fitness atau mau lose weight, menurut gua kenapa orang restrictive dieting or one of the reason mikir itu restricting dieting is mereka pikirannya bahwa kalau gue stop makan ini dia gue akan jadi fit gitu. Jadi kayak lu ngeblame makanan atau lu ngeblame makanan sebagai causing
weight gain.
Your weight gain atau lu sebagai causing your issue dan makanya menurut gue itu unsustainable karena Lu langsung, oh ini karena carbs yang bikin gua gini. And I think itu sangat males ya, it's a lazy way to reach your goal karena lu menyalahin makanan atau lu menyalahin a certain part of food into your fitness journey ya. Lu nyalahin itu sebagai yang membuat lu jadi out of shape, yeah. You know what I mean?
Berhabit kan.
Ya sebenarnya masalahnya bukan lu eat rice atau eat donut, it is you have no control over what you're eating gitu loh, dan lu lack education or maybe lack education into I need to eat a certain amount of protein, lu mesti makan protein gitu. Jadi menurut gue sih restrictive dieting is so lazy untuk kayak thinking that's gonna solve your problem gitu loh. Jadi kayak gue mau blame makanan ini, jadi gue stop makanan ini dia, you know, padahal the bigger problem is not makanan itu. The bigger problem is your way of conducting yourself on a day-to-day basis. Lack of training, right? Lack of movement, lacking in a certain macronutrition aspect. You
Planning
know what I mean?
ahead.
Planning ahead.
Ya, jadi kayak, aku males, yaudah aku mau pesen GoFood gitu misalnya.
Yeah.
Yang paling gampang tuh apa?
Exactly. Then they think by eliminating a certain food, it will help them. Now, of course, if you gain certain control of a certain food that will, you know, be putting you on the overconsumption of calories, then it's going to help. Tetapi that's not the fix, you know. And that's why gua rasa orang-orang kenapa back and forth on the yo-yo diet, you know. Atau mereka makan catering that is very, very small, nggak ada inilah, no salt, no this, no that, and thinking that's the cause of your lack in progress in fitness, which is very misleading gitu loh. Very misleading. And sorry to say, food company yang promote that is adding to the miseducation menurut gue ya. Now, there's a catch-22 in this. Menurut gue ya, sebagai coach, you have to know your client juga sih. So, it's an art in coaching and prescribing nutrition gitu loh. It's having a balance, yang gue selalu bilang ini, lu sebagai coach is knowing keseimbangan between what mereka need and what they want.
Mereka perlukan dan apa yang mereka mau.
Yes. Dan gimana ya, kayak gue juga mau bilang kayak mau cap, lu kalau ada klien, gue nggak bisa makan ini coach, atau gue nggak mau makan ini coach. Terus gue langsung bilang, lu salah, lu mikirannya nggak boleh gitu. Tapi kalau they so hard in believing that, and they're gonna do it anyway, in your back, behind your back. Menurut gue sih itu approach yang akan ineffective sebagai coach kalau lu benar-benar mau mengganti pola hidup orang ya. Jadi kalau gue ada klien, gue lihat di assessment kita pas kita ngomong tentang makanan, terus dia kayak, oke coach, gue udah nggak akan makan nasi lagi gitu, atau gue nggak akan makan carb. Nah gue coba edukasi, tetapi nggak tembus. Ya udah gue mikirinnya, ya udah gue kalau if I keep trucking on this, mungkin is not gonna stick to the program, atau dia akan self sabotage dirinya dia sendiri. Kayak misalkan biar oke coach ya udah nanti gue makan dikit, tapi they don't gonna eat it anyway, or they gonna not eat it anyway, not do it anyway. So what's the point of me doing that? You know, I might as well, okay, if you really believe that, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you will lose weight, tetapi I'll tell you right now, you're gonna be craving it, and this is not the answer. Tetapi okay, if that's what makes you stick to the program, make you feel good initially about that, ya udah kita lakukan itu, you know. So it takes a different approach because there's a psychological aspect into this training, you know. Dan kita sebagai coach sih, menurut gue ya, coach yang well versed into training is knowing how to reach their client. You know? Coach yang it's my way or the highway, I think is quite lazy because the people that is yang orang-orang yang menurut gue di psychological breakdownnya susah lah kita mau educate them. They're the one that need it the most. Yang difficult client is the one yang you need it the most. If you tend to just give up or tend to just my way or the highway,
susah, you can't.
Yeah, you know.
You don't see the progress.
I see that as a challenge sih menurut gue. Now of course don't get me wrong, ada yang gue kayak ya udah gitu, lo bikin stres gue aja gitu. Gue udah capek-capek bilangnya, tapi ada yang klien juga gue menurut gue okay, let's work, and I think part of you to be a journey to be a coach is to try those things, you know. Can I affect this person or impact this person through a various different way, and that's how you develop yourself as a coach menurut saya. So yeah, again, restricted dieting is not the answer, tetapi I think we have to see the client as well.
Yeah.
Now for our buat kita sih, what we recommend, don't even think about restricted dieting right away. Kalian mesti lihat, you have to audit your whole day-to-day conduct. Mesti lihat itu, what is the actual cause of your, lack in the fitness progress. Baru dari situ, then the coach can make a proper planning. So,
Tackle
guys,
the problem one by one.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the best way sih ngomong ke coach kalian. I mean, bisa coba-coba. Oh mungkin, tapi informasi di internet is so many, tentang what you need
Which
to
one
do.
is good for you don't know until you try it
Yeah.
and then you see.
Now again, if you need someone accountability, sign up to Empire Fit Club PT program. Ta-da! Sell. Kidding, guys. So anyway, I don't think we have spot for PT right now, right? I think we have. Yeah, you guys are all packed. So anyway, that's my take on it.
Yeah, me too.
So, last point yang kita wanna bring up, how do you define a sustainable nutrition lifestyle? Apa definisi sustainable nutrition lifestyle dari lo?
Menurut saya kalau untuk sustainable ya apa yang saya bisa lakukan untuk jangka panjang.
Yeah,
Jadi misalnya kalau
agree.
result, yeah, okay, it brings result in like 4 minggu, tapi aku nggak bisa continue for the next 4 weeks or 1 year, 2 years.
Yeah,
Buat apa?
yeah,
Iya kan? If I get result, oh aku turun berat badan 4 kilo misalnya in 1 month, tapi caranya salah, then we can't use that same way all the time.
yeah.
Iya kan?
I agree.
Jadi it compounds. Tapi misalnya kalau kita prosesnya benar dari pertama, and then we can make changes, make adjustments. 1 tahun, 2 tahun, 3 tahun, you won't see yourself as the same person.
Yeah,
Jadi just make small changes and then you can do consistently.
I agree with you. Ya menurut gue sih nggak bisa kayak, tapi gini loh, what people have to understand is you're not gonna get it right away in 1 year.
Yes.
Apalagi kalau kayak misalkan orang yang, kalau kita dapat klien yang emang overweight lah, and it's been overweight for many years. Approach-nya nggak bisa kayak 1 bulan, 2 bulan, 3 bulan. That takes year to undo
what they
the belief system,
Iya.
the habit, dan itu takes time and it's a small gradual process. Karena orang dia udah dari kecil atau dari kapan itu udah mikirnya gitu, Jadi biarpun dia dapat showered dengan informasi-informasi yang tepat, tapi kalau habitnya atau beliefnya nggak, ya udah beda, itu susah mau diambil dan itu take time, Jadi sustainable nutrition lifestyle will take a long time to adopt.
Yeah.
Jadi kayak sampai ke kayak gue nih, gue bisa makan apa aja menurut, ya gue fine aja makan apa aja, dan I haven't trained in 1 month. I haven't lift weights in 1 month. Gue lari sih, tapi and I still eat whatever. What did I have this morning?
Java chip.
Yeah, exactly. So itu to get where I'm at, it takes time. I have enough. My BMI is quite high. So you have to understand that sustainable nutrition lifestyle, it's a balance menurut gua dengan what you want and what you need, yang kayak gua bilang tadi sih. Jadi jangan kayak yang langsung ekstrim dan susah gitu. Add a little bit yang lu perlu, take down a little bit of yang lu nggak perlu gitu.
Yeah.
Jadi kayak you like to have dessert all each meal, maybe instead of dessert 3 times a meal, just take it down, like 2 times a meal now. You don't need dessert all the time, guys. You don't need dessert all the time, yeah. Who come up with that bull crap? You have to have dessert and you have to have a starter. It's just a restaurant trying to make more money out of you, just so you know. So don't buy into that, Have some kind of control in your own thoughts. So that's the way I see it.
It's an
Sustainable.
environment feeding you. Ada starter, ada main course, and a dessert. It's just an environment.
Watch, all the restaurant owners gonna be like, boycott Empire Fit Club. I love dessert. Hey, I have a waffle and shake restaurant in Bali, so don't even go there, okay? Anyway, so yeah, sustainable lifestyle is what we need to aim for. Kita mesti aiming for sustainability. Jangan cuman 1-2 bulan aja. Okay? The first step really finding that coach, I think that's why we're in the business, right? Otherwise, we won't even be doing this if this is something that people won't need. So if it's really, really bad, talk to a coach, man. Talk to a nutritionist. You can only do so much the Google or YouTube video, because sometimes it doesn't, the cases might be different and the coaches might need a bigger or deeper assessment to the client. Yeah. Because we need to look at where you approach, why you do what you do. And that's why we do that with our PT, right? Different with the classes and stuff. So invest in that. Now, if you don't have time or the resources to invest in the coaches, then you have to do your own research and do it properly, So that's my advice. Aim for things that if you can't see yourself doing that for a year, most likely it's unsustainable. Okay, most likely it's not something you should be doing. Okay, so that's my advice, guys. That's the talk for today for Empire Fit Talk. I hope you guys find some value in this talk with us. Kalau punya pertanyaan, feel free to comment or message, DM us the Empire Fit Club Instagram. And if you want us to cover other topics, feel free to recommend us, okay? And don't forget to subscribe and follow us on YouTube and Instagram. I'll see you guys on our next talk of Empire Fit Talk. Have a good day, everybody.
Bye.